Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
We are back here with Dwayne Mariner, our professional of the year and founder of Alpha Hydration and Wellness. He wears many titles as an RN, BSN, and founder of this company as a health and wellness preventative illness IV integrative medicine clinic. Really, him and his team are focused on helping so many of you with vitamin infusion, stem cells, exosomes, peptides, you name it. You need to talk to him about hydration and vitamins and all that he could do to help you with your health. Welcome back today. Can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yay,
Can you hear
good.
me? And is the speaker
Yes,
working and
I
everything?
hear you
Yeah.
perfectly.
I
Nice
have
to have
technical
you back.
difficulties today. Now, yeah, nice to be back.
Great.
That was a great show. I guess we can take off. I think you covered everything.
I know, right? No.
You're getting
Are
so
you
good
back
at it.
home? I know you had a loss in your wife's family last week. You
Yeah,
were in Texas, I think.
yeah. Home is relative. Home is wherever you sleep, I suppose. But yeah, we're back in California, rolling. Getting everybody fixed up for, I guess, summer now. Summer tends to be a busy season for us. You would think that people don't want to do much because it's summer, but they just really start coming, and we do lots of stuff in the summer. So we're starting to get busier again. Super excited. Going to add some new stuff to our repertoire of things that we do, and really looking forward to helping more people. And I think I touched on it last week. We're looking into doing some stuff that will hopefully change the landscape of what we do, not for just us, but for patients, cancer patients, chronic illness patients, people who don't have that route to get funding to do the things that insurance doesn't cover. So we're working on that. Hopefully, we're going to be able to pull in a few celebrities, some big donors, and hopefully get something going. That's our next project, and we're kind of keeping it down a little bit, but we're hoping it'll be a really big segue for people in the not too distant future. So that's kind of what we're working on now. Continue to do our normal thing. We're still doing lots of high dose vitamin C for cancers and doing all our wellness IVs, and just, took care of some people last night. They just weren't feeling very good. So we're taking care of viruses and flus, and it's everything. It's everything. And we're just having a grand time meeting people. Love meeting new people. And
Well,
it feels
just
like
curious. If someone calls you, says, "Hey, I have the flu," or "Hey, I have a virus. Like, I know I'm sick." You come, gloves on,
yeah,
your mask on,
yeah.
and what would you give to someone who's feeling under the weather? What's the magic potion?
Man, we give our antivirals. So it's big dose vitamin C, pretty much about as much as you can get without a blood test.
Okay.
Uh, B complex, B12, several other antioxidants, antioxidants, amino acids, electrolytes. So we have some magnesium, calcium, some zinc, which is really good for antiviral. A few other antiviral vitamins, and then lots of fluids. Fluids are the key too, because they just help clear all that stuff out of your body. And tremendous success with that infusion. I mean, tremendous success. We've done so many over the course of the last few years with COVID and everything, and it's been really, really, really good for people. So much so that they'll come back and say, "Hey, what was that last thing you gave me?" And I'm like, "Well, it was this. And I'm doing that again." I'm like, yeah, and we do lots of preventative with that too. Lots of people who go flying. If you go flying and go overseas, it's impossible to get a drink on the airplane unless you're in first class, business class. Then you can't get enough. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. So it's incredibly dehydrating to fly. So we really push for those people. A lot of people go overseas from LA. At the big international airport right here. So we really push people to get one before you leave. Go spend your 2 or 3 weeks in Greece or wherever you're going, and then we come back, get another one, and you won't have any jet lag. And it's true. I've done it both ways, and the jet lag is basically none. So it makes a huge,
Really?
yeah, it's really impressive. Really
Oh,
impressive. I told you at one time I was like a bit of a skeptic on some of this, but I'm not anymore. I mean, I've seen it, I've used it, I've done it. I know it works, and I understand right now, times are tough. Times are tough, but you got to invest in your health. You have
yeah.
to. Because imagine what a hospital bill cost.
Ah, you're right.
We really try to push people to, we don't really push. I don't go out and openly sell to people. I mean, it sells itself, but yeah, you got to take care of yourself. You can keep yourself out of the hospital for any amount of time, then you're way ahead of the game. And that's kind of where we're at
Amazing.
right now. Yeah. I see
Wow.
your mind working.
I love this. You see my what working?
I see your mind working.
My
You're like,
brain working. I'm like, yeah,
how can I put this into my life?
yes.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Talk to
that's
me. This is
exactly.
amazing.
Yeah, it
Really?
really. Yeah, we do one every time we fly somewhere overseas. I mean, local, it's not that big of a deal. When you fly
Uh-huh.
overseas, it's those planes dry you out,
Yeah.
and the air is so dry on those things. And then you're fighting with you're not really fighting with the airline attendant, but you're like, hey, what can I do to get some water around here? Then they give you a splash and go, here you go, drink up. Thanks for all the water. You can
Mm-hmm.
barely talk. But yeah,
Wow.
it's a game changer for traveling. And that's really what kind of we used to have one called the Jet Lagster. It was
Ooh.
one of our first names for one of our IVs was the Jet Lagster.
Wow.
And I might go back to it because it is such a good name. But yeah, uh, I like kitschy names, and some of mine aren't so fun anymore. They used to be really fun, but I think people respond better to what are we treating versus kitschy names that sound fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have so many that it's even hard to differentiate now. But I know which ones are good for what. So I get a lot of calls. What's this one for? What's this one for? What's this one for? And I just go through the list. Do this, do this, do this, do this. This is
What
what you
about, well,
need.
I'm thinking summer, I'm thinking California. What about sunburn? Do you know if
Excellent for sunburn. Yeah,
like
excellent
you get
sun.
those chills, your whole body feels off. Have you ever helped someone with that?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
several times, several times. Uh, kids. For some reason, kids, 10 to 20, get out there and get burned and don't think about it. Then the next day, mom's like, "Oh my gosh, you're beet red. You're sunburned," and they're dry. Sunburns are very drying. And there's inflammation involved, so it helps the inflammation. It helps kind of cool you off because those chills are kind of those heat chills. I don't
Yeah.
really know. Maybe like Rigers from the fever, basically that sunburn causes. It's excellent for that. And really, you don't need any vitamins to go with that. You can do them, but you don't really need them with that.
Yeah, right.
Helps keeps you going, keeps you hydrated. I mean, that's the number one thing in burns is fluid loss. Sunburns, you don't lose a whole lot of fluid, but if you got a, I guess, second degree sunburn, which I've had in my life, and it's miserable, you can
Mm-hmm.
actually lose a lot of fluid. I mean, you get lots of blisters and all that fluid comes out, and you can actually help prevent that as well, or at least help stay hydrated for all the fluid you're probably going to lose when those blisters start popping.
For
So yeah,
sure.
sunburn's a big one, and heat exhaustion is a big one.
Okay.
Especially in California in the summer, it gets really hot. Occasionally we get up into the teens, one teens here in the valley, and it's miserable, miserably hot. No wind, just heat, oppressive heat. And we see a lot more people come in for, oh, I overdid it hiking. I worked out too hard. I was at the beach all day drinking beer, which is not allowed, but I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
arbiter of rules. So we get lots of that. So yeah, that's a good question. Summer is actually a really really big time for us because it's not we go away from all the illness except for maybe I think it's flu B that is the year round one. I can't remember now. My brain has kind of stopped working lately.
Right.
Uh, so we move away from mostly illnesses into the dehydration, the travel people, the camp kids, the whatever. There's a reason that they may or may not get dehydrated for whatever reason. So we do a lot of that stuff. Uh, festivals festivals start coming up. Don't do a whole lot of festivals, but people go to festivals. They come back. They're dry. Yeah, we boost them back up, and they feel great and ready to go again.
Love
So
it.
lots of summer IVs we can do. In fact, I would say that probably is one of our busier times of year in hindsight. June
Great.
to For us, it's like June to October. We're really busy, and then we roll into the winter thing and start all over again.
Awesome. Wow. So you are nonstop. Where were you today? How many places so far?
Today, luckily enough, I have just been at my office. It's been nice. I'm heading back down to Santa Monica today. Gonna hang out there for a bit. Going to Encino for a bit to say hi to some people. and then should be back in the office for this evening, which is amazing.
Do you ever have any off time? Are you taking any vacations this summer?
If I don't have something on the horizon, I'm not worth killing.
Yeah.
So if I don't have something monthly to do to look
Yeah.
forward to, the reason I have to, and I like coming to the office, I enjoy hanging out with people, but I have to have something that I wanted that we're looking forward to. So we got my daughter's wedding in June. We'll be traveling back for
Where's that?
in Texas. Yeah, back in
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
July. We're going to Oklahoma City to see the sun and go to a concert, which will be
Nice.
fun. In August, going to San Diego to another concert with some friends. And then from there, we don't know. We may go to South America. But
Wow.
we have something every month. And that way it just keeps us, we're working so hard. Yeah, but we get to go do this. Oh, great. This is perfect. I have great employees too. So we're able to step away and actually enjoy our lives a little bit instead of working 6 days a week, which, it's just part of life. But yeah. So yes, I have stuff on the horizon. I do get to take time off, and I'm a huge proponent for taking time off. I believe in hard work, but I also believe in playing hard. And to play hard, you have to take off and completely remove yourself from the stressors of everyday life.
Yeah.
It's not like just going to the in-laws, it doesn't count because that's stress. Just going to down the street doesn't count. Taking a staycation doesn't count. You have to move yourself from your surroundings so you have different viewpoints you can actually absorb, for all intents and purposes, get those chakras or whatever they're called, get that feng shui, get that stress of everyday life and surroundings off your body. And stress is obviously a big proponent to bad health. You have to travel, have to do something that creates an outlet from everyday stressors. That's why that's where California is. Everybody vacations, 60 miles up the way. Yeah, you're still kind of in the, you're not really removed. Like if you're on a cruise, well, no one's getting a hold of you and they can't pull you off the boat to go do something. So you can remove yourself. So I'm a big believer in removing yourself from everyday life to vacation and just completely shut down and decompress. So June won't be one of those as I talk about that. July will
No.
be.
Now, hold on. But when you go home, are you bringing all your stuff with you? Are you allowed to travel with like the
Oh
needles
yeah.
and the IVs
Oh
in
yeah.
your carry-on, or does that matter, or just
I
have to
check
be?
it. I check it. We've been to Hawaii with it. We've been to Montana with it. Been to Chicago with it, Illinois, Texas, obviously. I think we've taken it to Mexico. Yeah, it's medication, If you're licensed, you can pretty much tote anything anywhere. No one's going to deny you. Yeah, we just pack it into our check bags and use it up. It works great. Yeah. We have some
Oh,
clients that are in other states and we're allowed to go into those other states because we're licensed. We're licensed everywhere.
are
So
you like though? Do you get like bombarded like when your family sees you? Dwayne, did you bring the so and so
yes, it's
necklace?
pretty funny. They used to not do that, but now they've had so many, they're like, oh, I gotta have it. Yeah. So
Aw,
every time we go into town, we take a lot so we can get them all fixed up. It
that's
makes
so
such
sweet.
yeah.
Now,
We just have
can you buy what you need out of state? Is
yeah.
there a supply company that has the same or
Mhm.
similar? I'm calling them
Yeah.
potions. They're not potions. What are they?
Let's call them potions. I like that. Potions for wellness. Vitamins, a bunch of
Vitamins. But it's
vitamins.
like it's in the IV bag, so I'm picturing it like a potion,
Yeah, it's a sterile.
like
They're
smoldering.
sterile. Yeah, they're big. They're sterile vials, and they're called multi-use vials. And they're just like any other medication. They're compounded in the sterile lab / pharmacy. And yeah, I can get them anywhere, even with all the rigors of the FDA and the California Pharmacy Board and everything. It's a challenge, but it is doable. It's all logistics, like everything else. Yeah, we travel. We travel with it everywhere we go. Basically,
Yeah.
yeah. If we go to Vegas, we take it. We take it everywhere we go. It's not always for sale. Most times we go on a vacation, it's not for sale. It's for us. We go home. It's not for sale to our family. It's for y'all. We don't go there to monetize our family. So I'm sure some people do. I couldn't do that. I couldn't sleep at night. But yeah, and they always ask, bring your stuff. Okay, we're bringing it. We're bringing it. Okay, we'll get fixed up. It's really fun. It's nice to be able to help. Nice to be able to help your family and let them kind of see what it is that you do and why you don't have to work at the hospital, every day anymore. And they really like it. And it gives us time to go do a lot of stuff. We get lots of free time when we take it. And that's great for us. It
And
lets
by
us
the way, I'm sorry, Alpha Hydration and Wellness, we didn't mention the website,
know.
ahsiv.com. That's okay. Social media as well. You got to look them up. Dwayne, we're halfway through. I just want to make sure everyone knows all this stuff. So Alpha Hydration and Wellness, it's ahsiv.com. And obviously, we're going to continue talking with the man himself today. All right. So what else as far as the work you're doing did you want to bring to us? And I know that's more than just this. We talked a little about the exosomes and all the stem cells that you're able to do. There's hormone therapy. There's
Oh my
there's a
gosh,
lot
I know.
besides the IV services, which is awesome, which a lot
Right.
of us use for all ages. But anything else that you want to make sure we get across to our listeners?
NAD is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It is
Well, slow down.
yeah.
Nuclear, what? NA?
It's NAD. You
Okay.
may hear a lot about it. Several celebrities get it because
Okay.
we like to call it basically a cellular reset.
Okay.
But it's nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide.
Wow.
Essentially is a mitochondrial communicator that tells the cells they need to do their job. So you have some cellular turnover, so your cells aren't just stagnant in your body. Gives a great amount of energy, very anti-aging. It's amazing for brain, for just about everything. We do a lot of that too. I don't think I've ever really touched on that. But yeah, it's a cellular reset. It's used for a lot of different things, but we use it mostly for the anti-aging qualities and the energy qualities. You can do a lot higher doses. You can break opiate addiction with it, and which is a nice bonus for people who have money to spend on opiate
Yeah.
addiction. Actually, excuse me, want to get past that.
Got it.
But yeah, we do a lot of that. It's an incredible cellular reset, and it makes people feel a lot better. It's very impressive. The only caveat is when you're infusing it, people get really sick, like stomach cramping and like chest heaviness, but only while the infusion is going. Once we stop the infusion, it goes away. So it has a great affinity. You can feel that cellular activity going, oh, I'm so excited. What are we going to do? What are we going to fix? Where are we going? And you just start really getting happy and start circulating your body. And it's pretty amazing that you actually see something. It's
Yeah.
immediate result that you go, oh my gosh, I feel this. And you're like, yeah, and this is why it's doing that. That's what we do a lot. We do a lot of NAD, and I don't think I've ever touched on that. It's
Okay.
it's kind of sweeping the country. I think Joe Rogan did it when he had COVID. Can't, I'm not 100% sure about antivirals and stuff like that to use NAD because of the way it stimulates cells with viruses basically being cells. So I'm like, should I use that or not? I haven't really used it. I've used it for COVID recovery
Mm-hmm.
to a great extent, and it's worked really, really well. Any kind of flu recovery. The only thing is it's expensive. It's expensive. It's time consuming for people. Some people don't like that, the side effects while they're getting the infusion. So it's not a rookie IV, so to speak. So I do a alpha infusion that has a smaller dose where people can just kind of start feeling what it does. Once they get
Okay.
that feeling, now they can be educated on, okay,
Yeah.
I feel really good with this infusion. I did this much. So can I do more? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably don't have to because you're getting this dose that's effective for you. You don't need larger, not necessarily more. So a lot of that. And people are really responding well to that. In fact, I did one last night, and it's a great introductory to NAD, what all it can do on top of all the other vitamins. So you get like this nice combo effect of detox, energy, hydration, oxygen output, more red blood cells, brain's firing better, your bowels are working better. I mean, it's just holistic. It just covers everything.
And is
So,
there a limit to how many of these you can get? Or, I mean,
yes and no. I mean, you probably won't read any obituaries where somebody overdosed from vitamins.
got it.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, theoretically, you could probably do it every day. You don't need to. That's not set in reality. I figure I'm more along the lines of every couple weeks, maybe once a month. It's very subjective. I mean, some people, if you have a high profile athletes and they're working out hard and getting ready for spring training or whatever, then they may need a couple of weeks just to stay up.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to do it that often either. That's the good thing about it. It's not like you're taking your vitamins every day. You do it once a month and you're pretty much loaded for the month. You don't urinate them out, and you get to keep them 100% bioavailability. So they stay with you till they're used up. So yeah, really very subjective. I get that question every day. Every day. I've never told anybody you have to do it every day. You have to do it every week. You have to do it every other week. I'm like, look, when you notice that day you wake up and go, I don't feel as good, give me a call because it'll happen. It's just, it's life. That's how it goes.
It
Everything
sure
just kind of
does.
wears off. Yeah. It'll keep you up. It'll keep you up for a long time. It's pretty amazing. I notice when I get them, I feel great. I sleep good. I wake up good, right side of the bed. Everything's good. And then as the month goes on, it starts waning. And I'm like, I guess I need to do an IV. So I sit down and get my IV. In fact, I'm due probably tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah, I'll probably get one tomorrow if everything goes as planned, which it won't. But if everything goes as planned, I'll get one tomorrow. Then I'm going to
That's,
hop on a plane, fly to New York, and I'll be up there and giving IVs.
I can't wait. But now, hold on, you do the IV yourself as well? You're cool like that?
I can. The problem is it's hard to attach everything, but
Yeah, okay.
I have done it. It's a miserable experience because you have to get past your brain, and your brain's saying, "Why are you hurting yourself?" And you're like, "Well, I have to, brain." But don't do
Oh,
that. So you're trying to make your muscle go ahead and do it.
yeah, I get it. Oh my
And
God.
it's a wild ride. But if I in a pinch, yes, I can
Got
do
it.
it. I prefer not to, but because I mean it's a
It could
little bit
pinch. That's why in a pinch, in a pinch.
of a pinch. Yeah, in a pinch, no pun intended. It sometimes it can be a little more painful, but I've done it to myself several times. People don't know how, but once you do it enough, you're just like, man, whatever.
You
Pain
got
goes away
this down.
eventually.
All
No, but
right.
nobody's ever been where they said, "Oh my gosh, it hurts too bad. I just can't do it."
I love
That
it.
kind of puts into perspective. Even
Well,
my little kids are like, "Oh, that was nothing." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, it's not that
hmm
bad."
well, Dwayne, thank you for being here again. Sorry we had some technical difficulties getting together here on the show, so
Oh,
show's a
all
little
good. I've
shorter,
had
but I'm
them all
glad it
morning.
worked out. I'm glad you can hear me now. How do
Yeah.
we contact you?
All right. You can contact me through the website, www.ahsiv.com. Text or call 818-482-3252. I even have another number now, but I don't know it. 310 something. We'll talk about it next week.
That sounds
Uh,
good. I like that.
Instagram, I think it's at Alpha Hydration, and same with Facebook. Uh, I'm on YouTube. It's not very exciting, but you might be able to find this on YouTube at some point. Let's see where else. Google, all over Google. If you Google me, you'll get the phone book. If you Google Alpha, you'll get the phone book. We're kind of a little bit of everywhere now.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you again for being here. Always a pleasure. And wait, when do you leave for the wedding?
Let's see. The wedding is June 15th. We will leave probably
Oh,
June 9th or
so
10th.
are you back next week?
I'm here next week. Yeah.
All right, good. Then I'll see you then.
Yeah.
Enjoy the
But
rest of
the
your day,
30th, I
Dwayne.
know the 30th will be good.
Okay.
You'll be somewhere fun
Oh,
probably.
in June. No, I'm not working in June. I'm going to South Carolina with the kids at the end of June. Maybe that's what you're thinking about.
Maybe.
All right, we'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out.
Sounds good, Dwayne. Thanks so much for being here. Always a pleasure.
All right, Jill. We'll talk next week.
You got it. Have a great day.
Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.